Both the 1 penny and 2 pence coins have a fascinating history that stretches across more than a century of British coinage. At first glance, these coins may look ordinary, small brown pieces of metal that often go unnoticed in daily life. But collectors know that hidden among them are some of the rarest and most valuable coins ever minted in the United Kingdom. Let's start with the story of the 1 penny coin. The original British penny dates back to the early 8th century, but the modern copper penny became famous during the reign of Queen Victoria in the 1800s. In those times, the 1 penny coin was large and made of solid bronze, almost the size of a modern 2 pound coin. On the front, known as the obverse, was the portrait of the reigning monarch, Queen Victoria, later King Edward VII, King George V, and so on. On the reverse was the legendary seated figure of Britannia, holding her trident and shield, symbolizing the strength of the British Empire. These old bronze pennies were issued until 1970, when the United Kingdom prepared to switch to a new decimal currency system. That transition, known as decimalization, took effect in 1971. The old large bronze penny was withdrawn and replaced by a much smaller coin worth 1/100th of a pound. The new decimal 1 penny coin, often written as 1p, featured Queen Elizabeth II on the front and a crowned portcullis design on the back, taken from the badge of Westminster. Now let's move to the 2 pence coin or 2p. This coin was first introduced in 1971 as part of the decimal system. It was slightly larger than the new 1p and made from bronze as well. The reverse design carried the Prince of Wales's feathers, along with the motto Ich dien, meaning I serve. For collectors, early 1971 coins are common, but there are a few special dates that are far more valuable. For example, the 1983 2 pence coin with the wording New Pence, instead of 2 pence, is one of the most famous modern British coin errors. It was minted by mistake, and collectors can pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars for one in excellent condition. When comparing the 1 penny and the 2 pence, the first major difference is size and weight. The older pre-decimal 1 penny was a large, heavy coin, about 31 millimeters in diameter, while the modern decimal 1p is only 20 millimeters. The 2p, on the other hand, measures about 25.9 millimeters. Both the decimal 1p and 2p coins were initially made of bronze, but after 1992, due to rising metal costs, they were changed to copper-plated steel. If you hold a magnet near them, newer coins will stick while older bronze ones will not. An easy way to tell the difference. Another interesting comparison is in the design evolution. The pre-decimal penny carried a proud, classical design, Britannia seated beside the sea, representing the empire's maritime power. The decimal penny adopted a more modern look, using symbols of Parliament and the crown. The 2 pence coin also evolved. In 2008, the reverse was changed as part of a national redesign showing segments of the royal shield. The modern 1p and 2p coins together form part of that shield when arranged with the other denominations, a creative concept representing unity in the nation's currency. From a collector's point of view, rarity and errors are what truly define value. For the old 1 penny coins, several key dates are highly sought after. The 1933 penny is the most famous rarity. Only a handful were struck, originally for record purposes, and each one is worth tens of thousands of dollars today. Other rare dates include 1918 and 1919 pennies with the tiny mint marks H or KN beneath the date, indicating they were produced at the Heaton or Kings Norton mints. The 1952 penny is another scarce coin, made in very limited numbers during the final years of King George VI. For the 2 pence coin, apart from the 1983 new pence error, there are also a few rare proof versions made for collectors in 1971 and 1972. Proof coins have a mirror finish and sharper details. In circulation, 1982 and 1983 coins with the wrong legend are the ones to look out for. The small detail of the wording on the reverse can turn an ordinary 2p into a collector's treasure. When we compare the metal composition, the old 1 penny coins were pure bronze, 95% copper, 4% tin and 1% zinc, giving them their rich dark brown color and heavy feel. The same alloy was used for early decimal coins until 1992, when copper-plated steel became standard. The change not only saved cost but also lightened the coins. That's why older pennies and 2 pence pieces sound different when dropped on a table. Bronze coins have a ringing tone while steel coins have a duller click. In terms of mintage, the 1 penny has been produced in massive numbers throughout history. For instance, in 1967 alone, over 600 million pennies were struck. That's why the 1967 penny is one of the most common in collections. The 2 pence coin, introduced later, also saw high mintages, but fewer in its earliest years. Modern issues after 1998 carry the updated Royal Shield design and are easy to find. Now let's talk about collector value in real numbers. A common 1967 penny might only be worth a few cents today unless it's in uncirculated or proof condition. But a 1933 penny, as mentioned, can fetch over $100,000 at major auctions. Similarly, rare 1918 or 1919 pennies with mint marks can reach between $30 to $200 depending on condition. For the 2-pence coin, regular circulation pieces have little value beyond face, but the 1983 new pence variety can be worth anywhere from $500 to $1,500, depending on its state. Collectors also look for misstruck or off-center 2p coins, which can sell for impressive prices online. As both coins continued through the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and now under King Charles III, their designs have subtly changed, but their popularity remains constant among collectors. The penny and the tuppence may seem small in value, but they carry a great deal of historical significance. Each change in metal, design, and inscription reflects a chapter in Britain's story, from empire to modern nation. When you compare them side by side, the old pre-decimal 1 penny represents tradition and history, heavy, elegant, and steeped in the glory of past eras. The modern 2 pence stands for progress, lighter, practical, and continuously evolving. Both are symbols of how British coinage has adapted with time. If you ever find one of these coins in your drawer, don't dismiss it as mere pocket change. Look closely at the year, the legend, and even small details like mint marks or spelling. That simple curiosity might uncover a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Many great collections began with one person checking a handful of old pennies. So, whether it's the majestic 1933 penny or the misstruck 1983 2 pence, remember, every coin tells a story. The real treasure isn't just in its value, but in the history it carries and the excitement of discovery it brings. And that's the timeless comparison between the British 1 penny and 2 pence. Two humble coins that together trace the journey from the past to the present, from bronze giants to copper-plated steel, and from everyday change to hidden gems of numismatic history.